Hello and welcome to this new episode of Open Book Entrepreneur. Today we have Amanda Goldman-Petri here with us, and she's a law student, but then also she runs her own business and is really focused on actually having passive income and helping others actually build passive income. So Amanda, please introduce yourself and your business to our audience.
Hey everyone, like I said, my name is Amanda Goldman-Petri, but people call me AGP, so we can stick to that. I am a survivor of poverty, child abuse, teen pregnancy, and two different experiences of near death. One was when I was hit by a minivan and I had to learn how to walk again. Another was very recent, and I had brain surgery to remove a brain tumor, or as much of it as possible. There is a reason why I have a tattoo with the word warrior on my body. But despite all of this, I worked hard in the academic field. I got 5 degrees. I placed in the 99th percentile of the LSAT for law school. So I like my academics. And in the business field, I have made millions of dollars. So basically, I'm very committed to helping others achieve dream levels of their success, no matter what they're going through.
Yeah, thanks a lot for this clear and nice introduction. Then on top of that, so what's your sort of main thing when it comes to this passive income? I know you mentioned before when we were in the green room, you mentioned that you have a book and a few other things. So tell us about that.
I have multiple books. I've done poetry books, I've done children's books, and then I've done business books. And I love it partially just for the creative aspect of my mind. I just find book writing and publishing really fun, but it's also a really good thing to have on the front end of any sort of funnel. And by that, I mean if you're running ads or you got some sort of traffic generation strategy, setting them into the book is a really good way to build trust, build that know, like, and trust factor that people talk about, and do it in a way where you're getting a purchase right away. So you're actually not just building any old list, you're building a list of buyers. And then anything else that you put either on the order form and in terms of what people call an order bump, where they're going through the purchase, but they just like click and add something extra, or you're putting upsells, it makes a really good audience to see that because they're not just opting in for something free, they're actually going purchasing something. So that's sort of how I use the books. It's like this front end aspect of my sales funnels.
Okay, great. And then obviously, how do you actually help others do the same through courses or some other way or?
Yeah, so the main thing that I sell at the moment is courses and certifications and templates, those sorts of things. I mean, technically, I am about to be launching some memberships where you do get some access to me. But I am very difficult to get a hold of when it comes to anything one-on-one. And that's because I am currently in law school. That's really what I'm focused on, because I actually burnt my $1 million business to the ground. I'm not even kidding, because I wanted to help America. I went and built businesses to millions of dollars, and I just kept seeing how divided our country is. And I was like, huh, I know persuasion, I know sales, and I wouldn't have to like take money from corporations in order to be, or lobbyists rather, in order to be like pushed in a certain direction. I can go into politics, I can go into law and really help people because I know how to do that without being lobbied in a certain direction. So I burnt it to the ground, went into law school, and now I'm building it up in a passive way.
Wonderful. Yeah. Okay, excellent. And then what's your goal for your business for next 1 year?
We're literally building up a bunch of passive income funnels. It's like every month there's going to be somewhere between like 1 to 3 extra ones that we're building up. One of the ones that we did recently, we're currently pausing it in order to update the branding. But just as an example, sending ads to a book. The book is called Certifications Made Simple because we do teach people how to create certifications. I think there's maybe one other person in the entire industry who even talks about certifications because people get scared to do them. They're worried, like, oh, I'm creating competitors. Oh, this is my intellectual property, that type of thing. But in our funnel, we send people originally to a book about it. And we call it made simple so that people can see you don't have to do this complicated, complex thing to make a certification. And as they're going through, there's three what's called order bumps, so they can add on additional course material about certifications. And then once they buy, they go to an upsell. So, hey guys, if you ever buy something from me, just know I'm going to offer more stuff. It's good stuff, but it's going to be there. And then I think, yeah, there's three upsells on the back end of it. I remember the person who helped manage some of our ads is like, Amanda, you are an average order value queen, meaning someone could come in with a $10 thing and leave with like $600. It was great.
Yeah, absolutely. But they get great value for it, yeah, as
Oh
well.
my God, yes, I'm such a dork about courses. I love them so much. They're
Exactly.
fun. You get to teach.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm personally a course junkie. I love to actually learn a lot of things and stuff. And yeah, building courses, that's another thing as well that we have to introduce in our business. But on top of that, so obviously now you managed to build this funnel and ads and stuff, and then do you teach others how to do the same or no?
So we are working on creating a course called Create Course Joy. That's not released just yet. Most of what we have released right now is teaching people how to create certification programs and honestly build the business from the ground up. We kind of teach people essentially like these different operations that go into business. You know, Operation Foundation, you're basically starting your business from scratch and you need to make sure that you've got an offer to actually sell. Okay. Operations like legal operations that go into making sure the business is actually a business. And then when you get into Operation Income, you've got to make sure you're actually putting traffic in front of that offer. As if you don't do traffic generation, you're not going to make sales. You've got to put traffic in front of the offer. That's how it works, guys. And then once people get far enough in business, we teach them the operation evolution part of it, which is basically when, yeah, you've generated income, but you want to be doing it in a sustainable way. So a big part of our courses is literally making sure that there is a course no matter what stage of business you are in, because I really like to teach and y'all really like to learn, but what you're going to learn really depends upon the stage of business that you are at. So we kind of walk people through all the different stages of business.
Exactly. Okay, great. And then what inspires you about your business?
I mean, the creation part of it, I just really, really, really love to create. And I also think it's just the reality that life is so complex and there's so much pain and there's so much dreams that people have, but it's really, really hard to do so much in life if you're strapped to a computer, if you're strapped to a desk. And I just feel so strongly about the idea that you can create this dream life as an entrepreneur. I mean, there are limits. There are limits when you're an employee. There really are. I actually, oh my God, going into law school, I worked as an employee at a law firm. I literally burnt the business to the ground. And I was like, okay, if I want to go into law, I need to learn a little bit about the law. Like I was literally willing, okay, this tells you how much I care about America and I really want to help. I burnt $1 million business to the ground and I went and worked as an employee just to see what it was like and learn, okay? And I was working 40 hours a week, making 80K a year. And I was like, oh my God, you could make so much more money with so much less work as an entrepreneur. It's insane.
Totally. Yeah, I mean, it's fantastic that you have this gift, that you can actually create courses, create money out of, sort of like out of possibilities and take opportunities. So that's great. What's your one piece of advice you can give to someone who is actually, starting or it's in early stages of their business, or they just want to actually grow the business to the next level?
Figure out what your offer is. Okay. You need something to sell. If you don't have something to sell, you are not going to make money. My very first business, I didn't make any money. But guess what it was? I didn't know what on earth I was selling. Okay. So make sure you know what you are selling. You are up for trial and error on that offer, because even if you do create something, it might not be a very good offer. You might not have positioned it in a very good way, but you need something to sell. And then just get used to uh, sending traffic to try again, trial and error. But if you don't have an offer and you're not putting eyeballs in front of it, you're not going to make money. And that is, I mean, literally the entirety of your business is going to be those two steps. It's really just the questions of like, what offer should it be? Is this one working? What traffic should it be? Is this one working? But boiled down, it's traffic and offers.
Very nice. Yeah. And if someone wants to actually get in touch with you, learn more about you, connect to you, how they can do that?
Go to goodandpaid.com. That's a course, guys. Yeah, it's always a course. I really, really love courses. Can you tell? But if you go to goodandpaid.com, that is like the signature course that we have called Market like a Nerd, where we teach you more about traffic and offers.
Okay, great stuff. Yeah. So I can share the link in the description of this episode. Anyone watching us can check it out there. And then on top of that, thank you all for watching. If you like this episode, drop us a like, subscribe, and yeah, if you have any questions for AGP or me, you can ask them in the comments. And then on top of that, yeah, AGP, thanks a lot for being a guest today. It was really wonderful to have you on. Thanks for sharing your story, your knowledge, and your experiences. And yeah, see you all in the next episode. All the best and bye bye.